Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the War Train here, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing a top 10 favorite games of all time. Now, this is in response to my good buddy Matt from the channel Chillscissors. He selected me and 4 others to actually be a part of this challenge going around the gaming YouTube community. And, you know, being that I have to now give my top 10, I also have to pick 5 other channels to pass this along to. So sorry guys, you know, and Matt, man, this is a ton of work, and he knew it too. So he said sorry for passing this along, but that's how it goes. It's all fun though. So I have selected my channels that I am picking, and the first one being Retro Obsessed. Retro Obsessed, I've known him for a while, does great content. You're just a good guy all the way around. But sorry buddy, you have been chosen. The next one on the list is Two Happy Gamers. This is a channel I had recently found and been watching their content. Just great videos, guys. And the next channel is Bring Me Joy-Con. He's been a friend of mine since I started here on YouTube, you know, a couple years back. So sorry buddy. And Nintendo Hub. Nintendo Hub has, you know, I've done some collab videos with him recently. You know, he's all about the Nintendo Switch. He's Switch collecting, awesome stuff. And the last channel is Budget Gaming, and just like his channel's name, he tries to get games on the cheap, and definitely can't argue with that. He has some amazing pickup videos, guys. So I'm gonna run through this list. The list will be in the description for all these channels. Tom from Retro Obsessed, Two Happy Gamers, Bring Me Joy-Con, Nintendo Hub, and Budget Gaming. So, you know, sorry guys, so good luck with this because it is not easy. But with that said, before we get into it, if you're new to the channel and you're not already subscribed, think about subscribing, guys. And with that, let's check out these games. So the first couple games slash franchises I want to mention are just some ones that didn't make my top 10 but are just so good, impossible not to put these on this list, and you know, I had to show these as an honorable mention. The first one I want to show is the Mario franchise. Mario Brothers 1, 2, you know, some people not a huge fan. I do like this game. And 3. You know, these games set the stage for a ton of excellent games to follow, spin-off games, you know, like Super Mario RPG, and just, you know, all the games that we have gotten since. There's just so damn many, almost impossible just to show one, because this franchise has just been a juggernaut and has some of the most amazing games in its library. And you know, it's had so many just crazy awesome spin-offs like Mario Kart, or you know, the Mario Maker franchise here. We got Smash Brothers that came from all that, Paper Mario, sports titles. There's so much awesome stuff with Mario. You know, had to make the list. I had to be true to myself. Mario is, you know, one of the best franchises. It's always, you know, a mainline Super Mario game is always a day one pickup for me. I love seeing what they're going to do, you know, when there's a new game out, how they, you know, change the mechanics a little bit or do something new. It's just such a great franchise, and definitely had to be an honorable mention here. Now the next one, another excellent franchise had to be mentioned, and this is the Doom franchise. Just amazing stuff here. So many just great games that we have gotten. Definitely one of my favorite franchises here. I mean, there's so much stuff to choose from, and it's kind of hard to put some of this stuff against each other. I mean, we got VR titles, you know, it's been out on all the different Xbox and PlayStation platforms, PC, even on Nintendo Switch. Just absolutely awesome stuff, man. I love the Doom franchise, the Doom Slayer, just such an iconic character in gaming at this point. You know, it's just, how do you not put them on? I mean, I love this stuff. And the next one, unfortunately, I don't know if this franchise is finished at the moment or what. Hopefully they'll do some more with it, but it is amazing. And that is the Uncharted franchise. Just one of my favorites. During the PlayStation 3 era, I've put more time into Uncharted games than any other franchise on that system. You know, and they've made games for the PS4, you know, spin-offs, just an amazing franchise. It definitely had to make this as well, just because it's been a part of my gaming history as well. Because, like I said, during the PS3 era, it was almost strictly Uncharted for me. I played so much, and online, the campaigns, and then they re-released it on the PS4, the trilogy, Uncharted 4, Lost Legacy, and pretty much one of the main reasons I got a PS4 is to play Uncharted 4. I was so excited for when it was coming out, just couldn't not mention it here. I got one more for an honorable mention. It had to be here, and that is the Castlevania franchise. Absolutely amazing franchise. There's so many games. You know, I wish I had more of them, but I do have ways to play most of these digitally. But man, you know, I hope we get more of these games here in the future, and I'm sure we will. It's such an amazing franchise, so iconic. Even has a great show on Netflix. The games are just awesome. Some of them, you know, like Symphony of the Night here, kind of that, and Metroid, you know, basically started a whole style and way of gaming. And, you know, these games hold up to this day. You know, they're just awesome to play. Just great lore, everything. So had to name those all as honorable mentions. So number 10 for my favorite games of all time / franchises has got to be Resident Evil 2 Remake. Just an amazing game, an amazing franchise. This remake was just so good. It really took the older game and just made it even more awesome, in my opinion. Just, you know, with everything modernized in HD, it just came out excellent. We did get more from this franchise here. Another remake of Resident Evil 3. Awesome as well. Not as good as 2, in my opinion, you know, but this is just one of the best franchises, one of my favorites. There's just so much to choose from this franchise. I mean, tons of games. We've been getting them for quite a long time, and they really do hold up to the test of time because they are just well crafted and just great franchises. Great franchise. Even something newer like Resident Evil Village, an absolute awesome game. Definitely hard to put some of these up against each other, but if I had to probably choose one, I'd say Resident Evil 2 remake is masterclass. I mean, it is just freaking killer with you know, Mr. X chasing you around. It's done so damn good. Even like some of the added on content, I just loved playing it. You know, they added, you know, free DLC that was just really good in my opinion. I liked playing this one mode. I forgot what it was called, but you go into a like a little convenience store and just fight waves of zombies, and it is just killer to play, and it's so fun. They did just an amazing job. Resident Evil 2 Remake, it's got to be a top 10, and Resident Evil as a franchise, you know, complete. So number 9 on my list has got to be Mortal Kombat 11. This game, I absolutely love it. I am a huge Mortal Kombat fan, and you know, being that I actually bought this game 4 different damn times, yeah, there's a reason for that. This game is just absolutely amazing. Now this one, the Ultimate Edition, obviously being the complete version. I just kept buying them from day one as they added more content, but this is the complete one, Ultimate. Just an amazing game, done so well, looks amazing, awesome story, the fighting, the moves, the characters, the lore. There's just so much going on here. This has been one of my favorite franchises forever. Just some other games I have, for the Vita. I mean, you got PlayStation 2, original Xbox. Somewhere I have a PlayStation 1, some PlayStation 1 games floating around. There's just so much in this franchise, and it has got to be on my list, because as far as fighting games, this is my favorite fighting game franchise of all time. So this has made number 9 on my list, and as far as fighting games, this is, for me, the cream of the crop. So for number 8 on my list, I have to give it to Metroid Dread. Such an amazing return to form for the Metroid franchise. Been quite a long time since we got a new game in this franchise, and it did not disappoint. What an amazing 2D game, just well crafted, and the franchise as a whole, just amazing. We've gotten so much good stuff through the years. I mean, this had to be on this list because I absolutely love Metroid. Just the lore in this game, they don't tell you a whole lot of what's going on. They just leave you to it to just kind of seek out stuff and play your own way. And it is just an amazing franchise, and just one that had to be moving down the list on my top 10 of all time list. Absolutely love this franchise, and Metroid Dread, such an amazing game. I absolutely love it and cannot wait to see what we have in the future for the Metroid franchise. Definitely excited to see what new games they come out with. So number 7 on my list, guys, I have to give it to God of War 2018. This game is amazing. It blew my mind when I first started playing it. I just couldn't believe how good it was. Some of the best visuals even till this day. Definitely excited for Ragnarok, which is just going to be more of the absolute same, and this franchise has given us some excellent stuff, on PlayStation consoles, going back to PlayStation 2. We got handhelds, versions of God of War, and PS3, but on PS4, God of War 2018 is an absolute masterpiece. And like I said, God of War Ragnarok is just going to be a continuation of this story, and just this awesome visual art style and this newer style of gameplay. I'm really looking forward to that, but this had to be in my top 10 because, man, it is just fantastic. If you have a PS4 and you haven't played this yet, man, what are you waiting for? It is time to play God of War. So number 6 on my list, I have to give it to Xenoblade Chronicles. Xenoblade Chronicles is just excellent storytelling, some of the best science fiction storytelling that I've ever seen. It is just amazing, and this thing came out on the 3DS, the Nintendo Wii, and on the Nintendo Switch, the Definitive Edition, which in my opinion is definitely the way to play this game. The quality of life features over the other versions definitely set this one apart, and the upgraded visual style in HD. But man, I'll tell you what, as far as just sci-fi storytelling, Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is definitely an amazing game. It had to be higher up on my list because of the storytelling, the world building, just everything around it. I mean, this is an amazing franchise, even though these other games are, basically different stories, basically just excellent as well. But I gotta say, Xenoblade Chronicles 1 just is my favorite out of all of the Xenoblade games, and it is just like I said, some of the best story I've ever, luckily had the pleasure of, playing through, or, watching, or whatever. I mean, it is just, out of any media, just one of the best stories. So as my number 5 pick, I had to put Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Now, this is a full trilogy, but it is all on one disc, so I consider this as one just complete game. Even though there's 3 games on here, the story just continues right into the next, and what an amazing trilogy. I had to put this up against Xenoblade, which was really hard, because both of these are the best sci-fi stories, in my opinion, ever told. Any medium, TV, movies, whatever, book. I mean, they're just absolutely amazing. The level of world building you get from Mass Effect is just like second to none. Specifically, the trilogy, it is just so damn good. If you haven't played it and you're into sci-fi, man, what are you waiting for? It's all right here on this one disc, and definitely worth your time, I can tell you that. I pretty much played these straight through in 1 month, just on this HD version, just straight through the whole trilogy, and it absolutely blew my mind. I did dabble in the games years back, but never played through any of them to completion. But completing, all 3 back to back is definitely the way to go. And that's why this one is so high up on my list, just because of the amazing science fiction story being told, and some really fun gameplay with amazing choices, just character development, world building, it's all there. Mass Effect, definitely up there on my list. So number 4, I had to give it to Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima, absolutely amazing story, and the gameplay is just so damn fun. The world in here, just gorgeous to look at, but the story is just really, really cool. The whole samurai thing, it just really works in this game. They did an amazing job. Man, Sucker Punch should definitely be commended for what they did with Ghost of Tsushima. This was a game I was eyeing up since it first was announced, and man, it did not disappoint at all. I like this game so much, I triple dipped, bought it day 1, then I bought the collector's edition for the PS4, and then I had to get the PS5, the director's cut that had the DLC. The DLC, amazing as well, added a whole nother chunk of story, fleshed out some backstory of your main character, Jin Sakai, just also added some new moves and stuff that you could do. It was just an amazing, amazing game, and it had to be this high up on my list. So here we are at the top 3. And I gotta say, these ones higher up on my list were almost impossible to put up against each other. But if I had to number them, this is probably how I would do it. And I gotta say, number 3 is the Demon Souls Remake. Wow, this game is gorgeous. It is still one of the best looking games. And, as far as the Souls games, it's definitely easier, than some of the other ones, that's for sure. So I think it definitely has a barrier of entry for anybody that finds some of the Souls games just a little too much. This one is definitely doable. It is really, really hard as well, but as far as the Souls games, I think this is definitely one of the easier ones to get into, to actually play through. And it's a game that's definitely made to be replayed over and over, and the more you actually put into this game, the easier it becomes, and just the more you get out of it. So such a great game, definitely one that was on the PS3, where Blue Point Games just did an amazing job at taking this From Software game from 2013 and just bringing it to the next level. Just everything, the character models, just the worlds, they look so good. The game plays great on the PS5, and just, the lore in this game is just amazing. I love just, watching videos talking about the lore and just the characters. It is just such an amazing game. I wish it would get a sequel. Honestly, I'd really like a sequel like that was worked on by Bluepoint and From Software, just because Bluepoint did just such a great job with using the PS5 to remake and make this one of, if not 100%, the best looking Soulsborne games. It's just so good looking and runs so good. It's just an absolute blast to play. I put so much time in this game. I have beat it 7 times. And I'll be playing it more because I just can't stop. Every so often I just got to dive back into this game because it is one of the best and one of my favorite of all times, guys. So number 2 on my list. Man, very tough to go against Demon Souls there, but I had to give it to Final Fantasy VII Remake. Final Fantasy VII, such an amazing story to begin with, but man, Final Fantasy VII Remake, even though it is just the beginning of the game, what they did here, just amazing. They fleshed out these characters way more than I could have ever dreamed of. They added content to just the beginning of the game, the whole Midgar area. It is just so damn fun. I love the visuals of this game. And, the PS5 version adding Yuffie, her own little story here to introduce her as a character. And, just having this game run at 60 FPS with the, higher fidelity. This is definitely the way to play this game. And what an amazing game. I've already beat this a couple times. I beat it on PS4, beat it on PS5, and I definitely know for a fact I will wind up replaying this game within the next year because it's just one of these games I could just play over and over again. And it seems to be, that's the case for a lot of these games in at least my top 5. So, wow, what an amazing title. Final Fantasy VII Remake had to be number 2 on my list. So my number 1 game of all time, guys, hands down, has to be The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I absolutely love this amazing open world adventure. Now, this game, I think I put so high up on the list because 1, it's my favorite franchise since I started gaming, and 2, it was one of the Legend of Zelda games that really made me have a sense of feeling of adventure like I haven't had since the early days, since The Legend of Zelda 1. A Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time. Each one of these amazing games gave me this level of just being able to kind of go anywhere, even though maybe some of these were more linear. They just felt so huge and just kind of like reinvented the series. 1 being the original, it was totally like nothing else at the time. A Link to the Past, it just went back to the formula of 1 and basically set the ground rules for the Zelda franchise going forward. It just did so much right. And then you had Ocarina of Time that also did the same kind of thing as those other games, but brought it into 3D and set the stage for the franchise going forward. So I'd say these 3 games did so damn much for the franchise and gaming as a whole that, the franchise, we had so many so many amazing games since then, on so many different consoles. Just, you know, I had to not put these games on my list, or like I said, this would be a top 10 Zelda list here, and I didn't want to do that. But yeah, there's so much from the Zelda franchise. You know, we got tons of just amazing handheld remakes, and just, you know, different handheld titles, spin-off franchises, you know, that just are excellent as well. But the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild brought back that open style of just, you know, wonder, adventure, and this has to be by far my favorite game of all time. Now, we do got a sequel coming out, so that could change, but as of right now, in 2021, Breath of the Wild is my favorite game of all time. So I hope you guys enjoyed my top 10 list. Like, very difficult to make this, you know, but I wanted to show more games in the franchise, just of each one of these, just because, you know, not more than just a single game. The whole franchise as a whole is just amazing for a lot of these games right here. But I really appreciate you guys watching. You know, thanks again to Chillscissors, and good luck to the next guys. But that's the video. I'm the War Train, and I'm out. Till next time.